A warm good evening to all of you present here today from Kuwait. And for those of you who are not in Kuwait, maybe it is a good morning or a good night. Welcome to our panel discussion. I'm your Sergeant. Good evening to all of you present here today from Kuwait. And for those of you who are not in That was the YouTube echo. It is off now. I'm your Sergeant at Arms, DTM Cajetan Barreto. And before I start, let me start by reading out the district mission. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. A few ground rules before we start this session. We will be taking questions. This is a panel discussion after all. And I want to encourage all of you all to ask your questions in the chat. And as far as possible, send the chat messages directly to the moderator, Toastmaster Priscilla, because she's the one who will assemble all your questions, assimilate them, and then ask them to the right panelist to give you the right answer. For those of you who are watching us from YouTube, please make sure you follow the same protocol. We will be monitoring the comments and ensuring that your comments and your concerns are addressed. Regarding the meeting protocol, we will be keeping participants on mute unless required, then I will unmute them. All our panelists are hosts, which means they will mute and unmute on their own, and they will deliver their workshops during when it is their time. As far as safety is concerned, we are all attending this from the comfort of our homes or from the office, wherever we are. Please be aware of our surroundings and give first preference to safety. In case of emergency, make sure that you exit safely. With that said, we are ready to start with our panel discussion. Our panelists, a group of 7 experts, have been really pouring through the
Team Kajidan, are you in?
Seems he has some technical problems. He'll resolve it in a while.
Sorry for that technical difficulty there. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bindo. So ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to this panel discussion on Toastmasters International Brand Manual. We are here to learn from a group of experts what the new Toastmasters International new brand manual has to offer us. Since the launch of this new brand manual, these panelists have spent their precious time studying the manual inside out, and they are ready to share their knowledge with us. Now, our panel is made up of Toastmasters from all over the world. And most importantly, a Gavelier who is excited to share his expertise on the brand manual, especially for Gaveliers. So Gaveliers present here, sit back and learn from your fellow Gavelier. Help me welcome our panelist, Toastmaster Bindu, VPPR of KEF Toastmasters Qatar. Our second panelist is Toastmaster Nishant Mehta, VPPR, Stellar Toastmasters Mumbai, India. Toastmaster Thinush, VPPR of AATSL Toastmasters in Sri Lanka. DTM Anil Lobo, Area 20 Director, District 20 from Kuwait. Toastmaster Julian Mami, Area 25 Director, District 94, all the way from Guinea. Toastmaster Muthaya Babu Dharma, VP at Ambattur Achievers Toastmasters Club, District 120. Gavelier Shashank Ganesh Kanan from Rivers Dream Gavel Club, India. A warm welcome to you, our panelists, to this panel discussion. And with a round of applause, please welcome our panelists. Thank you very much. Though we can't hear the applause, but it is there. And we welcome our panelists to this panel discussion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as DTM Cajetan already mentioned, let me once again reiterate, we will begin this being a panel discussion. You will have questions, and I would like to ask you all to address those questions directly to me, the panel moderator, in the chat box. And these questions will be either taken up during the presentation or during the Q&A session, which is towards the end of this panel discussion. So are we ready to begin? Thank you, DTM. Thank you, panelists, for that thumbs up. So here we go. Our first panelist is an IT manager by profession. She holds a master's degree in computer science and information technology. She works for Logit Systems Middle East in the field of industrial automation for Hamad International Airport, Qatar. Originally from Kerala, India, was born and brought up in Qatar and lives in Qatar with her husband and two daughters aged 6 and 10. She joined Toastmasters in December 2018 and is currently pursuing Level 4 of Innovative Planning. She is the VPPR of Kuwait of KEF Toastmasters and the PR manager of Area 15, District D and G, Division D and G, District 116. Please welcome our first panelist, Toastmaster Bindu Pillai. Toastmaster Bindu Pillai, welcome to the panel discussion. I understand you were excited to see the Toastmasters International revamp their brand manual. Can you tell us why Toastmasters International decided to launch a new brand manual? Over to you.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
No,
Can you?
Not yet.
There's something wrong. Just share. Yeah. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, Toastmaster Bindu. Proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, moderator Toastmaster Priscilla. DTM Kajiran, our moderator Toastmaster Priscilla, co-panelists, and all brand enthusiasts in the room. A very good evening to all of you from Qatar. Your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. A quote by Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon. From an agenda perspective, I will be covering what is a brand, the brand history, need for a brand refresh, logos, and its variants. What is a brand? A brand is not a set of logos or business cards. It's an experience. You are living what is being marketed. The brand is represented through everything we do and say. Each member will interact with the brand in a variety of ways, from communicating with the prospective members, to building new clubs, to the materials that you use in the district, division, club area. By communicating one consistent look, tone, and message, people not only know what to expect, they expect what they know. Now, before I take you further, I would like to take you through the brand evolution of some famous brands. Let's take the example of Mercedes. If you see, over 100 years, it has evolved and it has changed in these years. Let me take you through another example that you all can relate to, that is McDonald's. And now we are here in from 2018, we are seeing the latest logo, which is I am loving it, right? So now why a brand refresh in Toastmasters International? A brief history. All of you know the Toastmasters began as a series of speaking clubs in 1924. Here, you have a generic Toastmasters structure, right? You have the Toastmasters International, you have the region, you have the district, and the clubs. What if each one of them had a different theme, a different logo, utter chaos, right? So this is exactly what happened in TI as well. The Toastmasters International Board of Directors recognized a need to analyze the brand, as there was a growing concern in the inconsistency among the clubs and the districts, divisions, needless to say. In 2009, Toastmasters and its branding partner, that is Innovation Protocol, conducted a research to study the market. And after about 70 odd years, Toastmaster International unveiled its new brand entity at its international convention in Las Vegas on the 17th of August, 2011. As part of it, the organization has updated its logo, colors, fonts, imagery, messaging to make the Toastmasters identity much clearer. Now, what happened in July 2020? The need for a brand refresh. Now, we brand ambassadors found a new lightweight brand manual in the Toastmasters International website. The very first impression was that, wow, a new color has been introduced. Well, the Toastmasters International brand specialist just wanted us to be brand happy, so made the manual and easy to follow with a consistent image that upholds our values, mission, and mantra. Every brand manual will have a brand platform on which it is built. The first platform is the tagline, where leaders are made. It simply conveys our mission that leaders are made here by making people better communicators and teaching them the leadership skills. The powerful combination of strengthening one's competence in the communication and building the leadership skills through participating in Toastmasters, thereby gaining the confidence to lead. This is what differentiates Toastmasters International from other skill building programs. Next is the brand promise, empowering individuals through personal and professional development. In August of 2015, the Board of Directors introduced the Toastmasters brand promise. This promise is the expected tangible benefit members will receive from their experience. As a global organization, the club experience should be consistent and excellent regardless of the location. Next, we move on to the core values. The core values, the Toastmasters International core values are integrity, respect for the individual, service to the member, and dedication to excellence. These are the values worthy of a great organization, and they should be the anchor points of every decision we make. Next, we move on to the brand personality. It describes how an organization interacts with the general public. Your internal communication, external media, social media, posts, etc. An organizational brand personality is universal. Adjustments should be made to reflect the culture, language, medium. Earlier, it was regardless of language, location, or audience, but now in the latest version, they have made this change. Adjustments should be made. 4 words that described the brand personality in the previous version was leader, dedicated, helpful, empowering. But in the latest version, you have it as leadership, dedication, and empowerment. Next, we move on to the voice and tone of the brand platform. Our voice and tone allow us to consistently reinforce our identity and connect with the current and the prospective members. Appropriate word choice should be used to create relevant communication for our various audience. Your communication should be warm, clear, friendly, professional, succinct, briefly expressed, respectful, universally understandable, internationally friendly. Now, these 2 are new additions. Member focused, and this is removed from the previous version. Next, I would love to share with you a brief history of the evolution of the Toastmasters International emblem. Now, it is good to know, but you don't have to remember it. In 1928, Dr. Ruff Smedley published a brochure, a manual for people inquiring about the benefits, in which he had placed an emblem, a sketch, of a gavel with the letters T and C entwined around it. In 1931, the organization recognized that it is growing and it needed a much more formalized one. So in January, two members submitted a sketch. It resembled the initial symbol, but it included the Latin words Oratoris Omnis, which means all orators, and it had a TM at the center. In 1941, the TM was replaced with a T and the Latin words were removed. Toastmasters International was introduced. And slight modifications were made as well. And after about 70 years in 2011, we had the final logo and the word mark that we use till date. The new logo was an evolved version of the Toastmasters emblem. The logo did not show any continents and instead implied momentum through the rotating longitude and latitude lines. Toastmasters International mandates that the logo is an integral piece of visual identity and that it has to be applied correctly and consistently to accelerate engagement, raise the organization's credibility, and improve awareness of generations to come. So let's see what's included in the new manual and what was available to us previously. Now, when it comes to the logo, in the previous version, we had a full color. Alternate versions were black and white, grayscale, reverse knockout. You had the color versions in navy, burgundy, right? In the current manual, that is in the latest refresh, you have full color, black and white logo. Moving on to the word mark, the previous version had Toastmasters International in full color and black. In the current version, you have full color, black and white, but the white is missing in the Toastmasters International website at the moment. They might upload it anytime. Coming to the logo lookups. What is a logo lookup? A logo with a text, right? So in the previous version, you had logo with website, tagline, combo, and a combo. And the word mark with the website, tagline, and established 1924. In the current version, you have a logo with a website, tagline. You have logo with since 1924, introduced in navy and black. Same is with the word mark. You have since 1924, introduced with navy and black. Now, next we move on to the Pathways logo. Now, this is introduced into the manual. The Pathways was designed to help Toastmasters build the competencies they need to communicate and lead. You can keep the journey consistent by using the Pathways logo, right? So you have the full color, black and white both in the previous and in the current version. In the previous version, I think it is not included. It was available on the TI website, but in the current version, you have these logos in the manual. Now, next comes the clear space and the minimum size rules. They ensure that the logo wordmark is clearly visible for print and web applications, something that we all must follow. If you see in the previous, you had a bigger space around, but in the current version, it is limited to the Toastmasters International wordmark inside the globe. So that is the main discussion. That is the main change. The minimum size for web is 72 pixels, and for a print version is 3/4 inches. Now, it's for all the downloads. You just have to go to www.toastmasters.org/logos. You have all these available there. It's interesting to see the phrases the brand specialist has used in the manual. Let's logo in unison, mark your word marks as in sync. I would add know and protect your brand. Now, it is a time to say a big thank you to DTM Kajit and Barrett for arranging such a magnificent platform to discuss the refreshed brand manual. Special thanks to the moderator, Toastmaster Priscilla, who has spent much efforts in making this happen. Special thanks to all the leaders of District 116 who has directly or indirectly imparted the knowledge on the basis of branding. DTM Raghavan Menon, he's our immediate past district director who has taken District 116 to the #1 district in the world. He is a founder member and PR advisor of my club. Brand specialist DTM Christopher Almeida and DTM Sudhir Gujar, District 116 PRM DTM Grace Moran, and my mentor Toastmaster Neshi Kumar. Last but not the least, a very big thank you to my family who has supported me throughout my journey. And thank you, and over to you, moderator Toastmaster Priscilla.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bindu, for that wonderful insight on Thank you very much for that wonderful insight on the logo and the evolution of the Toastmasters logo. I have a question, and my question was: you in your presentation, you mentioned about tone and voice, which should not be member focused. I didn't quite understand that. This was there previously, but it has been removed now. What would be the reason? Why would that happen? Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, sure. If you see the voice and tone, it is almost, you had asked all the words like warm, friendly, and I believe member focus is implied there. And hence the redundant information must have been removed. So, warm, clear, okay, friendly, professional. So it already says it should be member focus. It is implied there, right?
Okay. Well, I was of the opinion that, well, Toastmasters is everywhere member focus. So why remove the term member focus? So thanks for that explanation. And once again, a big round of applause for Toastmaster Bindu for bringing to us a beautiful information on the brand logo and its evolution. Thank you so much. Well, do we have any questions? If we have, I will take it during the Q&A session, and we will now move forward with the next panelist. Introducing our next panelist is a chartered accountant, attorney at law, tarot card reader, a numerologist, picture reader, a graphologist, photographer, life coach, and a Rotarian who joined Toastmasters in 2015 and was the first district finance manager of District 98. Now pursuing level 4 of visionary communication pathways and simultaneously working on his Pathways mentoring project, having completed the Advanced Communication Gold in the traditional program. He is the immediate past president and the current VPPR of Stella Toastmasters, Mumbai, India. Please welcome Toastmaster Nishant Mehta. Toastmaster Nishant Mehta, welcome to the panel discussion. Toastmaster Nishant, can you please unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Yes. Toastmaster
Thank
Nishant,
you.
go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, panel moderator Priscilla, and my panelist and follow audience. Let me share the screen. Can I?
Yes, Toastmaster Nishant, my question to you is, I have known you for a while and I understand that you are a brand by yourself. And this is what you believe in. You believe in branding. I understand today you are going to help us understand why branding is important and how it applies to Toastmasters. Over to you, Toastmaster Nishant.
Am my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah. Logo. A logo is a graphic mark, amber, symbol, or stylish name used to identify a company, organization, product, or a brand. It may take a form of abstract or present as a stylish version of your company name if there is sufficient brand recognition. How would you like to know yourself? What will happen if someone is Nishi or Nishikit? But my name is Nishant. Similarly, a word mark of a Toastmaster is an important word and it's a trademark and it's a word mark. Now coming to it, we as a human being are represented by a face and our organization is by a logo. What will happen if you look at the next slide? If you can look at the pictures, look at other than the center pictures, if you look at the pictures, it's all distorted. Would you like to look at that picture or the center picture?
Toastmaster Nishant, we are not able to see
Similarly,
the next slide.
Toastmasters says.
Did you say that? Did you say you? Okay, now we can see it. Yes.
Okay. Sorry for that. I thought I can see it here. So if you can look at my slide, one side is my picture. Don't look at the center. Other than the center, all the pictures are at a different position. Would you love to look at that type of picture? No. And if you look at the center picture, yes. Similarly, Toastmaster has a yes and a no. On my left side, you have the right logo, the do's of a Toastmaster logo. And the left side, on the right side is the different types of no for a logo. If you look at it, or you don't put the logo in perception, it doesn't look good and you're disrespecting the logo. So that's not allowed. You cannot desperately steal the logo. You cannot change the proportion of the logo elements. So if you can look at the right side of my picture, if you can see, if my eyes are going up, it doesn't look good. Similarly, if you change the proportion of the logo elements, it doesn't look good. If you desperately scale the logo, it distorts the entire image. And this disrespect to the Toastmaster logo. You cannot change any element of the logo. Your entire logo should be exactly the way it is, and it cannot be changed. You cannot create logo of club and district. I'll come to that again. You cannot change the logo color. The color of the logo will be taken off by the next panelist. You cannot put the logo on colors that aren't in the brand color palette. You cannot copy logo, symbol, or image overlapping the logo. You cannot put a pattern glow beyond the logo. These are the 9 types of no's, and you have the left side, the yes. So now you tell me which one you will prefer. The center picture of mine or the other pictures which is visible to you. Of course, the center picture. Let me go to the next thing. And club and district. Sorry?
I said yes, of course, it will be the center picture that we would prefer.
It just look more visible, more clear, and more respectable. Similarly, we need to respect the Toastmaster logo because we all are passionate Toastmasters and we love Toastmaster as a logo. And the club or the district create their own logo, theme, or a tagline? Unfortunately, no. Toastmaster International say it should be a uniform brand and logo. So if we respect district are unique and we respect that, but still we cannot have a different logo for the club or the district. It has to be the same logo universally and for every club, district in the entire world. Can a district create a logo for conference? Yes, you can create only for the district conference with a theme and a logo of the conference. They can create a look and feel for the annual conference, but they cannot still change the logo of Toastmasters. Coming to the next session, which is corporate guidelines. Now I want to bring this to your notice. 75% of the Toastmasters across the country are corporate club. And it's a good news for the corporate club. Whoever are part of the corporate club can have a round of applause for themselves. The new guidelines. Can you look at the next slide? You can create materials from your own corporate club utilizing these guidelines. The Toastmaster logo and the corporation logo cannot be side by side. But if you look at the right side of the screen, you can see upstairs is the corporate logo and downstairs is the Toastmaster logo. That's the format you can use for the corporate clubs. And this is a very good news because it creates a new brand for the corporate and the Toastmaster both. So congratulations to the corporates. Thank you. If you have any questions and answers, I'm always ready to take it.
Mr. Nishant, thank you so much for helping us understand what we can do with the logo, which has evolved over so many, since 1924. So a big thank you to you. And I like the way you distorted your face to show us what it is to distort a logo, to distort a brand. So thank you very much for your insight on how to handle the Toastmasters logo with respect and care. That we as Toastmasters should, of course, in the first place, respect the logo of Toastmasters. Thank you so much. And once again, I just loved the humor that you brought in. I saw a couple of faces smile when they saw those distorted faces, and that just definitely makes sense. And it was a nice way of putting yourself in that position, you as a brand and the logo and Toastmasters logo as a brand.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, how has it been so far? I hope to get some questions for our panelists. I can see some popping, but I will take them only towards the end of this panel discussion. So you see, we have learned a very important aspect of branding. And now moving forward, I would like to introduce our next panelist, who will touch upon the color palette of Toastmasters International brand. An MBA graduate with BSc in Electronics and Computing degree is a certified Six Sigma Black Belt, a certified transformative mindfulness coach, and a certified NLP practitioner. By profession, he is a technology consultant at Ernst & Young, In Toastmasters, he is the VPPR of AATSL Toastmasters Club and the VP Ed of AATSL Emerging Toastmasters Club. He is also the charter president elected One Country, One World Advanced Toastmasters Club. Please welcome Toastmaster Tinush from the island country, Sri Lanka. Toastmaster Tinush. Toastmaster Tinush, we are excited to know the new color palettes, colors that we Toastmasters can use for creating our beautiful posters and flyers and all the material that shows that we are Toastmasters. Over to you, Toastmaster Tinush.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Patricia, for the wonderful introduction. Color is important because it's the place where you get the first impression. Colors are more than just a visual aid because it conveys emotions, feelings, and experiences. Let me share the brand new color palette of Toastmasters. Here you can see 3 primary colors, which is defined by Toastmasters: True Maroon, Loyal Blue, and Cool Gray. We have color codes for these colors. For True Maroon, you can see here, it's 772432. For Loyal Blue, 004165. For Cool Gray, A9, B2, B1. When you create flyers, you can use those codes, especially if you are using Canva. You can directly use these codes. And if you are using PowerPoint, you can use RGB codes. Likewise, these are the codes that you have to use when you are making flyers. And also, they have introduced an accent color, Happy Yellow. This is not for the backgrounds, but to highlight something in a poster in font. Even in this presentation, you can see Toastmasters International itself has been used these 2 colors to highlight these 2 topics, primary color and accent color topics. You can see Happy Yellow color in these 2 headings. So this is the previous color palette we had. And you can see this red color is no more in the new color palette. So what about black and white? Toastmasters International has recommended to use those 2 colors since those 2 colors are natural colors.
Toastmaster Tinush, I have a question.
Yes.
With the red gone, you mean we can use only 3 colors to make posters? Oh, that would be discouraging, because with 3 colors, I don't see how I can create a very beautiful, attractive poster. And the yellow also is used only for accent. So we are left with only 3 colors. Can you, I mean, how is it going to be possible?
Yeah.
I'm
I
sure
can
most of
share-
the members have most of the Toastmasters would have the same question, because I don't see myself making.
I can share recent creations which was done by myself by using those 3 colors. So let's move forward with the presentation. Now you see in maroon, there are so many shades and gradients. Blue and gray, even the same. And that's why you need to, that's why I have mentioned these color codes. To use these color codes to get the exact color which is recommended by Toastmasters International for your posters. So you can see an example which I have created recently for our first meeting. And you can see another similar one. Here I have used happy yellow color to emphasize our team meeting. Every moment is a new beginning. So likewise, you can create attractive posters, but make sure those are brand compliant with those brand colors. Thank you, Toastmaster Priscilla. Screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tinush, for that introduction of the colors, though it is really disappointing that we have lost one color. But I'm sure, like the way you have shown us, that you can create creative, attractive posters with just 3 colors. We will definitely make an attempt to it. I'm sure all of us will. So with that, I think we can move on to our next panelist, who is going to talk about the fonts. And let us see what are the new fonts that Toastmasters International has introduced in their branding. But before that, let me just remind all of you that the chat box is open. Please pour in your questions in the chat box, and I am going to definitely take them up in the question and answer session. So to introduce our next panelist, a 3 times distinguished Toastmaster. He has been in Toastmasters since 1999. He is known as the godfather of Toastmasters in Kuwait. He is involved in founding, in sponsoring new clubs in Kuwait, and he has held various district positions. Currently, he is the Area 20 Director in District 20, and is a member of 4 clubs. He is also my mentor. Please welcome DTM Anil Lobo, who is going to help us understand or know what the new fonts are given to us in our new brand manual. So Toastmaster DTM Anil Lobo, tell us, what are the Toastmasters approved fonts?
Oh, that's good. You've asked a very interesting question, because just like our previous speaker Tanush said, there are only 3 or 4 colors, yellow being a highlight color. Similarly, in Toastmasters, there are just 2 types of fonts. One is a primary typeface, which is Gotham. So Gotham is the main font that's used for headlines and for subheads. Now in the body, the approved font is Myriad Pro. Now these 2 are the only 2 fonts that they are permitted to use when you're having any published articles. Now there's some alternates. If you don't have Gotham or Myriad Pro, you can use Montserrat in place of Gotham. And
Okay, that was going to be my question. So yeah, tell me, what can I do if I don't have access to Gotham? And
great. In fact, you've brought up a very interesting question. For this, let's understand what is the importance of fonts. Now, we understand that in order to project your image, your brand image, you must have color, you must have font and text size. You already touched upon color. Now, fonts add value to your text message. In other words, what you're trying to project in terms of media. And it also helps the reader perceive the information from this text. So for this reason, there are two primary fonts, and these are unfortunately expensive. So as a backup, if you do not have Gotham, the alternate is Montserrat. It's free, it's easy to download. And if you do not have Myriad Pro, you can use Source Sans Pro. These are the two fonts that are backups. And if you have just normal articles that you're putting out, such as like emails or newsletters or other forms, then you're allowed to use Arial. Arial can be used as a tertiary font only if the first two fonts are not available. I hope that's answered your question, panel moderator.
yes, that answers my question. But now, if I am allowed to use other fonts, which you said that we can use, how do I know that my poster, the material that I have prepared, is brand compliant? Does it say anywhere that we can use these as alternatives? Or is it your perception that we can use these as alternatives?
Yeah, this is available in the brand manual. It's clearly documented what you can use. If you look at page 15 and 16 in the brand manual, you can see the basic fonts and the alternate fonts that are being used. And just in case you're in doubt, you can communicate, you can talk to somebody and find out. The best person to ask is either your brand ambassador. They can help you out to ensure that you're using the right fonts. And if for some reason you cannot get in touch with them, talk to your area officers, like your district director, your area directors, your division directors, and they'll be able to help you. And if push comes to shove, you can send an email to Toastmasters International and they can help you out too.
Okay. Great. We can look at our leaders to help us create posters and our material that we need to promote Toastmasters.
I would like to just share now what the fonts look like here. This is what Gotham is like. You have the ultra, the black, the bold, the medium, and then you have the smaller ones, which is the book, light, extra light, and thin. This is the primary font. This is for headlines and subheads. The Montserrat is the backup in case you do not have this. And you can download Montserrat free of cost. The Myriad Pro comes in 5 different variants: the black, the bold, the semi-bold, and the regular. And for the lighter one is the light. Now, if you do not have Myriad Pro, you can use the Source Sans Pro. It's very similar to the Myriad Pro. Now, there is one thing that you have to be careful. No serif. No serif at all. And you want to know why? Serif is a little difficult to read, especially when it's in print media, and it gets distorted a little bit. So let's avoid using serif as much as practically possible. So let's try to use the basic fonts. Now, just for you guys to understand, I'm going to ask to launch a little poll. Let's see how many of you have picked up this information, what I have told you in the last couple of minutes. Panel moderator, yeah, let's launch this poll. Which is the primary approved font for headings? You have a choice between Gotham, Montserrat, Arial. Okay, you're going to close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Let's share the results right now. And you all agree with me. Gotham is the primary. 82% of you were right. Montserrat, if you do not have Gotham, is acceptable. Try to avoid using Arial, but if you cannot use Gotham or Montserrat, Arial is fine. Let's see if we have another poll. The second poll here. Which is the primary approved for body? Now we have three. We have an Arial, Myred Pro, or Source Sans Pro. Let's see which one do you think is right. Okay, we're going to close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's see the results of the poll. And I can see that 72% of you said Myred Pro, and that's the right answer. And if you do not have this, the backup is Source Sans Pro. Only 2% got this right. Arial is if you do not have Myred or Source. Arial, as I told you, is only for web and for emails and other articles that you want to do, but not for branding purposes. Okay, so with this said and done, it is time for me to hand over to the panel moderator. If there's any questions, I'm willing to answer this.
Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Anil Lobo. Just the way you mentor me, you have put the test questions for everybody to see if they have understood, and that was very nice because we got to understand whether our panel discussion here was worth it, whether we have conveyed the use of fonts through our panel discussion. So thank you very much. Yes, we have questions pouring, but right now I would like to finish. Let all the panelists have made their presentations, and then we will take the questions one by one. Thank you so much. And I will now like to move on to our next panelist without wasting any time. So we are done with colors. We are done with fonts. What else makes our material, our branding look, our posters and flyers look beautiful? Pictures, videos. So we will now touch upon pictures and videos that we can use to make our posters, flyers, branding material very attractive. And taking us through this is our next panelist, all the way from Guinea. He is a computer scientist, head of interconnection and QoS monitoring at Orange, a telecommunication company in Guinea. He has been a Toastmaster since October 2017 and is passionate about communication and graphics design. Area 25 Director, immediate past president of Tinkisco Prestige Toastmasters Club, Division I, District 94. He is the brand ambassador there since June 2020. Please welcome Toastmaster Julian Mami. Toastmaster Julian Mami.
Yes, Toastmaster Priscilla.
Yes, Toastmaster Juliana. Tell us, what is it that we can use in photos and videos when it comes to TI branding as per the new brand manual? The screen is yours.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Priscilla. Now, let's start with one of the most important parts in the brand manual. I've named photography and video. Dear brand ambassador, we will be covering this part in two sections. First of all, we will talk about what we call images and photographies. And at the end, we will cover the next part, the video section. Let's start by the first one, photography and videos. Speaking about photographies and videos, you should take into account or take in mind that we are going to talk about two things, two subjects especially. First of all, we have the style, and secondly, we have the type. Each time that you will have a project of visual production, please take into account that in Toastmasters International, the style should reflect the Toastmasters environment, but how Toastmaster environment it is. All your images and photography should be engaged, empowered, and supported. Those are the three styles of photography or images that you should use in any type of visuals or video making. And what about the type? The type is the category of images or photography that you should use. First of all, we have images from meetings, training venues, presentation, networking venue, and also we have from speech contests and networking venues. But let me tell you something. Apart from these, please stay away from any category of images and photography. Stay away from them. You know, it's so sad that nowadays some Toastmasters around the world are still using images that I will going to mention. Please do not use at all landscape in your visuals or in your flyers. Animals, food, children, even clip art. Clip art is the most used category of image that you can see when you go on Facebook. This is not normal. Please stay away from all of them. If you want to know which type or where can you find a good quality of professional images, I can show you. I can show you right now. Please go into the website, the Toastmaster.org website. You will see under Leadership Central menu, a sub-menu called Brand Portal. If you click on this, this window will appear. Just click on professional images and click here for access. It will open a new window. This is our Toastmasters professional photographies galleries. Here you could find any kind of high definition images that you want to use. And if you want to use one of them, just click on it and click on this button. You can select which one you want to download and click on continue. Here you have an option. If you want to download it in the original size or in a medium, extra large size or the small size. So that said, let's continue to the next part. That's called video guidelines. Before you start any project, any Toastmaster video projects, even if you are a club member, area, division, or a district club member, please be sure to answer those 6 checklist questions. First of all, who is the video owner? The video owner, his name should appear under the logo of Toastmasters Club. And his club name or his district name, his district number, I would like to say, should appear under the Toastmaster logo. What about the credits? The credits are, you know, the sentences that you should put at the end of your video. On each video, you should put at the end the credit. The credit should mention the copyright symbol. I will show you how to do all this right now. But it should contain the copyright symbols, the name of the video owner, his club name or his club's number, the district information, the team who produced the video, if applicable, and last but not the least, the year of video production. Those parameters are really mandatory. When you finish with all this, you should ensure that every person who appears in your video should sign what we call the video release form. This is the permission authorizing your video production on Facebook or on YouTube. And with this permission, you can do the work. After this, we have the legal or moral right. You should ensure that your video could not infringe any intellectual trademark or any legal or moral rights. And we have what we call the disclaimer. The disclaimer is a sentences which you could put maybe at the beginning of your video or at the end. And we have what we call trademark use request. Let's explain all this. Here are the video owner example. As you can see, on the first example, I've put under the logo the club name and the district number. On the second one, there is the club number and the district number. And on the third one, there is the area number, division number, and the district number. What about the copyright? First of all, you should include this symbol, this is the copyright symbol. And then mention all those information, the video producer name, his club name or number, the team who produced his video, if applicable, as I said, and the year of production. And after that, this disclaimer is really, really important. You have to copy this from the brand manual. Do not modify it. Do not create your own disclaimer. Please copy this like it appears and paste it in your video at the beginning or at the end. And then we have the trademark use request. This is the new innovation from Toastmasters International. Dear brand ambassador or dear VPPR, once your video is ready to be submitted on Facebook, even on any social media, please submit it first at trademark@toastmasters.org or brandtoastmasters.org for approval. This is the next step and the most important step in videos guidelines. Dear moderator, I was really glad to teach or to talk about those new features in the new brand manual guidelines, and I return the screen to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Julian. I was really very attentive while you were doing your presentation. It was a very impressive presentation in terms of delivery, content, and you covered everything. I'm sure you have covered everything when it comes to photos and videos. But I do have a question, because you said, dear VPR.
VPR.
Yeah. Yes. And you said, and I looked up to see what is it that you want to tell us. And you said that every video that is created needs to get the permission from TI, an approval to publish the video. My question is, do we have to do it every time? This again would be discouraging for us VPPRs to prepare videos, because if it meant that every video we need to go back and forth, we may lose it.
Yes, I understand you, Toastmaster Priscilla, but so far, Toastmaster did not mention any information related to the frequency of the trademark users request. So we consider that you should submit a trademark usage request each time that you will have a video project. Do it each time until Toastmaster International decided to tell something about the procedure. But right now, from now, it is the procedure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if that is the new procedures, new
Yes.
requirement as per TI, we shall follow these requirements. And that should not stop us from creating videos. We are creative Toastmasters. We shall create our videos and send them across to Toastmasters International for approval. And of course, Toastmaster Julian, stay put because we have a couple of questions coming up for you. So which again, I will take at the end of our session. And with that, I would now like to move to yet our another panelist, our very enthusiastic Toastmaster Dharma, who is waiting to get on to the screen and share with us what he has to tell us about our brand manual. So let me introduce our next panelist. He is a gentleman as an engineering graduate with a master's degree in business administration and has been working in the IT industry for the last 10 years. He has been a Toastmaster since 2017 and has served as an ExCom member since ever joining. He is the past area PR manager and the current VP head of Ambattur Achievers Toastmasters Club District 120, and also the creative head of District 114P. Please welcome Toastmaster Muthaiya Babu Dharma. Toastmaster Muthaiya Babu Dharma, please, the screen is yours.
Good evening to everyone and great for India. So now I hope my co-panelist has been covered. So what is the font? It has been available. So what color you are going to use and how to place the logo and how to play the video. So now I'm going to take you through this journey, how to create our own material. So whenever we are going for doing some flyers or whenever we are going for creating a certificate, so what all the forms are available, what you can create, what you are not supposed to create. This is I'm going to taking this to you in the presentation. This is the one. So when as per manual, so what it is TI is suggesting is, so non-paper materials require official authorization. This is what TI is mentioning. So we are not supposed to create any certificates, and you're not supposed to create any trophies, or you're not supposed to create any ribbons and the clothing materials, all the things which are mentioned in authorized and non-authorized thing as well. Whenever you are doing for the club, is the area as well as the division or district. So the stationery, business cards, bulletins, newsletter, electronic media, and the website and the program covers and agendas and similar items you can create. And whenever you're going for non-authorized, you are not supposed to create your own certificates with Toastmaster brand guidelines as well as a logo. The same for all the, I'm coming for the second one, and offices, candidates level. Maybe if you are area director, you want to create anything from your area representing, you're not supposed to use a Toastmasters International logo if you are creating a certificates. And if you want to create your own stationery business cards, for that you can use your Toastmaster International logo. The same for individual members as well. For ExCom members, you want to create the business cards and electronic media, something like a USB drive. And if you want to create your own websites for a club, and if you want to create anything towards to promote Toastmaster activity, you can use the logo of thing one, but you are not supposed to use the logo for your personal newsletters. Whenever going for some personal bulletins and similar items towards to it, and creating a ribbons or banner and certificates, this is not at all available. One more thing, so whenever you are doing creating some material, so it should be authorized by our Toastmaster International. So now I'm going through the next slide. So how to create the process. So this is what the process which I'm going to highlight here. So before you are going to create any material, before material, you have to know what should be followed and what are the TMI colors and what are authorized fonts should be followed, which already taken care by our own co-panelist. Then once you have decided that, then you need to go for, you have to know the design own material. Whenever you want to do your own material, again, I'm back to the branded colors and branded fonts and the logo. The logo should not be truncated in the any way, as Nishant has been explained very nicely with his photo as well. Once you have created this kind of panel, so what I have to go to do it? So if you have any queries or you have any doubts, so you can feel free to reach brand@toastmaster.org. You need to submit them for approval. Here you can send your creative designs by sending an email to the brand@toastmaster.org. And once you will get a response from there, so then you can go for a create trademark request. By the request, it will be there is a time duration. Also, they have mentioned that, and as per that, you have to renew again. So in example, I'm going to create a certificate for officers training program, which will be scheduled within 2 months. So that certificate is valid for only 2 months. We're not supposed to use the same certificate format for other program. You consider for some JTP program, such training program. So whenever you want to create your own, so you can move forward. You need to apply again. So before going to apply the trademark request, you have to ensure that this is as per the brand or not. Again, I will back to the second portion: branded colors, branded fonts, and you need to use a proper logo. This is was the process. Then I'm going to show you some kind of a material where I have created for, and how I can create it for which is authorized, which is not authorized. So here you can able to see the authorized material which I have used here. There are two samples here I have added. So someone has drawn on this screen. Okay, let me continue explaining again. Like here is like, so this is the first one. You can go for a distinguished contribution certificate of gratitude. So I have mentioned here the content term called it a certificate of gratitude. So we are considering that this is for certificate. So the certificate, whenever you are creating your own material, you are not supposed to use Toastmaster International logo. There's a tagline, or you're not supposed to use a logo as well. So this is authorized material. And then going for a second one, the same content I have given for the second one, I have removed the term called the certificate of gratitude. This is something like a flyer, maybe the poster. You are giving, you are thanking, this kind of a thanking kind of flyer. So where you have removed the content of certificate of gratitude. So here you can use Toastmaster International logo. Else you can create this and you can send it to the brand as Toastmaster.org. Then you need to follow up with them. You will get the response. It is valid or it is not valid. This is the one. I'll go for non-authorized, unauthorized, or non-authorized material. Whenever you want to create the certificates, we're not supposed to use a Toastmaster International logo. So someone has been rounded in the accent TMI color and yellow. So we are not supposed to use logo here. So this is the unauthorized material. And go for the next example. So I want to do it for my club to give a best speaker award and my best evaluator award and star of the month and Toastmaster of the month, Toastmaster of the role player, maybe the monthly good role players and good PR work awards who are doing something beyond their club activity. Those kind of a thing, you can create your own certificate with the TMI color or non-TMI colors. You're not supposed to use Toastmaster tagline as well as Toastmaster logo. This is what the own material which we have created. For this, so you don't need to send any kind of brand. So whenever you like to use the Toastmaster International tagline as well as the logo, You will have to design by your own method by using a brand manual, brand color, and brand fonts. And then you need to send a verification for a brand that Toastmaster works. Once it is got approved, then you can move forward with a trademark request where you need to fill the information about the designs. So what is the duration of the validity and which program you are going to move forward. So let me recall here. So our TTM Gadget and Pareto got approved designs of a certificate for only for this branding workshop. So we have got approved and we have used that as well. So likewise, whenever you want to create your own material, so you need to send it for a brand and you need to move forward. This is what overall journey about this one. And consider that. So I'm doing some kind of activity for my division, or going for some kind of in area. I'm doing some kind of events. For that, I want to create a certificates. So we're not supposed to create a certificate with Toastmaster International logo. This is unauthorized material again. So we're not supposed to use Toastmaster International logo. Else, we need to remove the terms called it for certificate for participation. This is what the overall content about it. Again, I will be repeating the process. I'm back to the slide. So let me recall. First, we need to go through the brand manual, DMI color and DMI fonts. And by using this, you can create your own material and back to submit designs for approval. Once it got approved, then you can go for trademark request. And once it got approved by trademark request, we will be getting a number. So then you can use a register, maybe copyrights number, you can able to use it along with the designs. Here I'm going to something like a recalling back. So there are two designs here. The first one without logo, you can default to use. The second one I have removed the current certificate of gratitude. You can use here Toastmaster logo, and I'll go for unauthorized material where you are not supposed to create a certificate with Toastmaster tagline as well as logo. And this is the one, whenever you want to create your own design, you are feel free to create it, but you are not supposed to create, you are not supposed to use any Toastmaster logo. So let me conclude with all the points. Whenever your club business come into the picture, maybe club meeting, and you can go for maybe pathway completion, and someone is achieving a distinguished Toastmaster award. For that, you can create the posters or a certificate, maybe some kind of a thanking posters with the logo. Then if you want to wish someone maybe birthday wishes, for that you are not supposed to use Toastmaster tagline as a logo. The simple example, the funny example, if I want to wish anniversary of my own club members who will be going to complete 5 years in Toastmaster journey, I can create a flyer with Toastmaster logo, but I cannot wish him for his wedding anniversary with the Toastmaster International logo. This is what the simple example. So back to moderator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mutaya Dharma. Well, there is a question which I would like to take right away because it popped up as soon as you showed on screen the certificate, which was which even the very first go I said, oh, this is not brand compliant. That was the blue certificate, which you said that you could prepare certificates where without the logo. Is that the understanding, that if we do not put the logo, Toastmasters logo, then it is okay to create a certificate the way we like? Is that correct?
Yes.
We can't hear you.
Yes. If you want to use a Toastmasters logo or a tagline, it should be a brand colors and brand text and brand font as well. If you're not at all going to use the Toastmasters International logo, you can create your own designs. This is what the outcome of the certificates.
But is that acceptable? Like, suppose if I want to make a certificate of a best speaker, best evaluator at meetings, can I make the certificate without the Toastmasters logo?
Yes, you are not supposed to use Toastmaster logo for a certificate. it is unauthorized. So you have to remove the Toastmaster logo and you need to create it for your own thing. Else, the certificates are available in our Toastmaster. There, you need to pay them, you need to buy them, and you need to use them.
The ribbons and okay,
yes,
you
yes.
mean the ribbons. Okay, well, thank you very much for answering that query. We do have some more questions for you, but we shall take that in the Q&A session. And now for the most exciting moment that we have been waiting for, at least I am looking forward to the presentation from Gavel here. And I'm sure all the Gaveliers present here are looking forward to this. So our next panelist is excited to be a part of this panel discussion. When I spoke to him, he was like, oh, I just want to do this. So who is he? He is a young Gavelier studying in the 9th grade in Chennai, India. He loves his family and music. He is passionate about Toastmasters, branding, and designing. A member of Reverse Dream Gavel Club in India. He's given me the name of his village, but that sounds like a tongue twister to me, so I shall not say it here. He wants to bring about change in the world of Gaveliers. How great is that? Welcome, dear Gavelier Shashank Ganesh Kannan. The screen is yours. Let us know what Toastmasters International has offered to Gaveliers in their new brand manual.
Hey, Toastmaster Priscilla, thank you for this wonderful opportunity. So first of all, am I audible and am I visible?
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. So hi, Gaveliers, Toastmasters, and my dear friends. This is Gavelier Shashank. So I need something to bring change in the world of Gaveliers VPPR. So I want to do, Priscilla didn't ask me to do, I only asked her to do. So I'm very happy to do this. So first of all, I request you, already TM Priscilla maybe requested you to take note of the previous sessions, which is previous panel members sessions. Yeah, so now, note that we will have the same brand manual of Toastmaster for Gavel clubs, only with few changes. Yeah, that's just a change. Okay, so let's see what are they. So these are the photographies, these are the colors, these are our own logos. I'm very happy about these logos. So let us speak after this slide. Yeah, so photographies, there was a restriction called for children's. We should not use children's photos in photographies. Yeah, now coming for this point is we can use children's photos, only children's photos with Toastmasters photography restrictions. So I am happy that you can use children's one, but for the Toastmasters logos, if you are a son or daughter or a kid of your Toastmaster, when your parent is asking you to make a flyer or a poster for your parents' club, you should not use the children's photo. Yeah. So let us go to the color palette. So there are only 4 colors. Of course, black and white is mandatory for all the flyers. And the Gavel Club logos. Yeah. So we have this red one and blue and this black color one. Now coming to the font, actually the real one which it is very difficult to pronounce for me. Yeah, so the I think Marriott Pro. Yeah, so this is the font called Marriott Pro. So these fonts should be paid the owner or in anything. You should pay for these fonts. As a non-profit organization, we should not afford. As a kid, we are not supposed to afford money for these fonts. And this is the ITC. Yeah.
Gavel
So this is the.
Shashank.
Yes, ma'am.
Gavel Shashank, are you trying to share another slide? Because we are on the slide, what we can see is the pictures, the photos, the colors, and the logos.
Yeah, I am only
On
going.
the same. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Sorry. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no problem, ma'am. Yeah. So I'm.
The
Yeah.
font.
So I'm annotating, so it will be easy for you all. So this is the Marriott Pro, which is the Montserrat, which is preferred by TI, which is Toastmasters International. So I am glad to use this instead of that. Yeah. So now Source Sans Pro. This is also an alternate version, and you could download these fonts in your through a website link, which would be shared by myself for DTM Gadgeting soon. You may know about it. So next is no need to charter. That's a wonderful thing, no? Yeah. What is a chartering? What is chartering? Charter is nothing that we should say to the TI, which is Toastmasters International, that if you go to your classroom, maybe not now because due to this pandemic, the teacher may be taking the attendance, present ma'am, like that. This is a charter where you should like an attendance for the TI, which you should do year by year. But as a Gavel club, we no need to chatter. This is a normal thing which is not related to PR, but I just wanted to share this. So the next thing is the banners. Yeah, of course. You may use these ABC Gavel Club, your names, your Gavel Club name with this TI logo, which is Toastmasters logo. But now we have this Gavel Club logo where we can print it. Officially, I think it's not available now because due to this pandemic, it will be ready soon. So I request you all, as we had saw the branded making products for your own club, you could make that. You could ask your club counselor for this, but I request you all to do with the correct brand guidelines as you did for your Toastmasters banner. Yeah, the next is do not use. Yeah. So as Toastmaster Nishant told, if you keep your face like this, it will not be applied for the flyer or your PR materials. So do not squeeze or drag or place the colors, place the logo between the non-TMI colors, or do not remove the wipes, like do not remove the globe or place a shape in the logos. And this is the main thing, because do not get any word mark such as like your club's name or district name or area name or anything for your club. The next thing is do not use Toastmasters wordmark for your club, for any Gavel club. Do not use Toastmasters wordmark. The next thing is do not use your customized logo. Do not create your own logo. Confusing. As told by our logo panelist, yeah, about the logos. The next thing is do nots. Then now advantage. Yeah, we find some advantage here now. Do you see this blurred logo keeping its face like this? It will not be nice because the JPEG, which is the JPEG means .jpeg is the white background, and the logo's face. It's like if you go to a fight and your face will be like muddy. So like that, it's here. So next thing is, yeah, we found it. This logo, a clear one, which can be found in the TA website. And the another thing is, I find this logo to create as this because it has white background and this logo can be placed anywhere else, which is png file. So next thing is disadvantage. This disadvantage is not only for mine, for my Gavel Club, for the Toastmasters, but for the entire branding design. Because if you place this CD22Z, do not get confused, Gaveliers, is just a hex code, which is the red color. Yeah. So this is the red color, which is CD22Z. Please do not confuse. Yeah. So when you want this color is mainly used in the gray, which you had shown in the previous slides. So this is the red color, which is removed. Website for all brand resources is www.toastmasters.org/resource. Into that resource, you could go to this brand portal and you could find everything listed out, such as photos, uh, uh, logos, designing elements, and photos, logos, designing elements. Even the brand manuals could be found there. So I request you all to go to this website. Maybe the spelling may be wrong, but yeah. Thank you all. And the special thanks to DTM Kajetan and TM Priscilla, my fellow panelists, my renowned Gaveliers, my club counselor, and my PR advisor, and like she's my teacher. Yeah, so she is Toastmaster Sushmita Madhavan from Walkie-Talkie Nanganallur. So I dedicate this session to all of you who are watching this, and especially my family members. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you to Gavelier Shashank for that very informative, lively presentation on what Toastmasters has to offer the Gaveliers. I'm so happy that you are happy that you have a logo for yourselves now, and you can have your Toastmaster banners designed with Gavel's logo and not Toastmaster logo. So now I understand why you wanted to do this in this panel discussion. So well done on presenting your presentation, the content, the delivery there. Excellent. And I'm so glad for all the Gaveliers because tonight they have learned a lot from you. So thank you for coming on to our panel discussion and making this such a lovely evening for us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here with us and for going through this panel discussion. I know it is not yet over because we have our question and answer session coming up. But before that, I would like to hand over to our Division F Director who will felicitate our panelists. Bear with us, it's just a few seconds and we'll be back with the question and answer session. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster DTM Kajetan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priscilla, and apologies earlier I had a technical issue, but I'm back now. And what a great varied discussion and inputs and opinions and views. And by the way, we had more than 50 people, I think more than 60 people watching us live on YouTube, and they have some questions which I have copy pasted in the chat box. We'll try to go through that. But before we do that, I want to thank all the panelists for the hard work they have put in to make today's presentation a grand success, because not only did we have a group here interacting. We had more than 50, 60 people on YouTube, and this session will be available for anybody who wants to review all the brand guidelines from our perspective. And without further ado, let me first thank everyone. And first of all, thank you, Bindu. I knew you were the right person to talk about the history and the values and the core values of Toastmaster, the voice and tone. You did an amazing job. Thank you very much. And a big round of applause to you. Nishant, what can I say? You went the extra mile, taking pictures of yourself to look good and bad so that we could relate to what is exactly the tone and message as far as the logo is concerned, what we can and we cannot do. Thank you very much for your inputs. Tinusha, you did a great job talking to us and giving your views. Thank you once again. And Anil Lobo, DTM Anil Lobo, thank you for sharing your views on the fonts and the alternatives and creating the poll for us so we could assess our understanding of the fonts. Julian, thank you for creating that very creative presentation using different camera angles. I'm sure a lot of people will ask you, how did you do that? And I'm sure now instead of answering on videos and photography, you'll have to actually explain how you gave us your presentation. Thank you, Mutai, for your views on what we can print, what we cannot print, and explaining to us the process that we have to go through. And finally, I think, Shashank, you stole the show today. Everyone was saying, wow, awesome. And I was right in bringing you on board on this panel, even though they were seniors, but I think you showed them a thing or two about how we should make a presentation. Thank you very much. And how can I forget the moderator who kept everything together? Thank you, Toastmaster Priscilla, for an amazing moderation of this wonderful 90 minutes.
Thank you.
And back to you to handle the Q&A.
Thank you, Division F Director DTM Cajetan, for first of all making this happen and for bringing all the panelists together on this to this wonderful evening, to this panel discussion. Also, thank you for those certificates that you have just given to all of us. I'm sure these will be mailed to the panelist, and if it means we can send them by courier as well. You deserve it. So moving on to our question and answer session. Let me see what questions we have here. Panelists, are we ready? I'm going to shoot all the questions to you. So here we go. First question coming from Toastmaster Werner, and a similar question from Toastmaster Shashank, and this goes to Toastmaster Nishant. The question is, can the logo be used as a watermark on a club flyer? Toastmaster Nishant, can the logo be used as a watermark on a club flyer?
No, it cannot be used. Not allowed.
Well, thank you so much for that very short and crisp answer, which is nothing but no, we cannot do this. I hope it answers the question asked. We have another question from a YouTube viewer, Srinivas KM. He says, can clubs have a tagline for the term in disguise of theme of the term? Well, this is a funny question. I have not been able to understand.
I really, same here. Same here, even I cannot understand the question. I read it
Okay,
also.
we will go back to our viewer and ask him what exactly was that question. Moving on to Toastmaster Roshni Rajesh. Her question is, what is actually the use of yellow as an accent color? And what can it be used for? What about black and white? Toastmaster Tinush, can you please answer this question? This is from your area of expertise.
The yellow color cannot be used as a background color, and it is only recommended to use as an accent color to highlight the font.
Okay.
Can you repeat the next?
And the other question, the other part of the question was, what about white and black?
Yeah, black and white colors are recommended by TI since those are natural colors. So they are okay to use for your posters and flyers.
Okay. Toastmaster Roshni, I hope that answers your question. Moving on to the next question by Simran Nair. The question is, what are allowed gradients? Who on the panelists would like to take this question? Are gradients allowed? Or what are the gradients allowed? Toastmaster Dharma or Toastmaster Tinush?
Gradients are allowed, but you have to get approval from Toastmasters International Branding.
Oh, we need to get approval. Toastmaster Simran, they are allowed, but of course you would need to go back to Toastmaster International to get approval on those. Our next question is from Gavel Kavya. She says, I don't know. Okay, Kavya is a girl's name, I presume. What colors should we use for our flyers? Only the rest 3? Tinush, what colors can the Gaveliers use for their flyers?
For the Gaveliers, there are, apart from the TI primary colors, they can use white color and black color.
Okay.
As well.
So it's the same, whether you are a Toastmaster or a Gavelier, the colors remain the same. Gavilia Kavya, I hope that answers your question. Moving on to YouTube viewer, Salzita Rodriguez. She asked, can community clubs follow corporate club brand guidelines? Toastmaster Nishant, can you answer that? Is that possible? Can community clubs follow corporate club brand guidelines?
So right now, the new brand guidelines is specifically for the corporates only. For the community guideline, I think we need to write to the Toastmasters brand trademark and get it approved.
Good. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nishant. Toastmaster Sonali has a question saying, can we use other colors as well as font colors? Tinush, can we use other colors as font colors?
As font colors, other colors means?
I think what she's trying to say is, can we use?
You can't use colors apart from the TI colors for the posters.
Yes. So Toastmaster Sonali, I guess that answers your question. Our next question is, with all the colors, sorry, are we allowed to use variations of Montserrat? DTM Anil Lobo, the question is for you. Are we allowed to use variation of Montserrat?
Can you clarify what type of variations? Okay, if you're doing shading or hollow or anything like that, it's not recommended. But as per brand compliance, it should be using the basic things only.
Okay. I hope that answers Sonali's question. Well, a very interesting question. With the this is from N-Shi. I don't know whether it's Nishi. The question is, with the new colors, do we revise the posters that are already made earlier? For instance, a Facebook cover page or a poster depicting the current XCOM on the Instagram page. Tinush?
You don't need, you didn't want to change the posters which you have already created, but as of now, you can create posters as per the brand compliant posters.
Okay, so moving on, we need to create posters using as per the brand compliant new brand manual. That's the message here, correct?
Yes.
Well, next question is from Simran Nair saying, are we allowed to customize a branded font? For example, using Montserrat in Canva, we can use effects such as hollow, echo, etc. Is this allowed?
So as I said earlier, hollow and all these will dilute the brand image, so it's not, and it doesn't make it easy to read also. So that's another reason. Not recommended.
Just DTM Anil, since you're here on screen, let me tell you, Toastmaster Jomi Stephen has this to say. Excellent font awareness by our AD DTM Anil Lobo. Take that as a compliment.
Thank you.
Another question is, can we do font art? I don't.
Again,
Who can take? Yeah.
font art is not like, you don't want to mess around with the font if it's going to be difficult for the message to go through. As I said, you have to add value to the reader to read it. So when you start doing font art, it's going to be very difficult. So I strongly recommend it not to go for that.
Yes. Gavel Shashank, you wanted to answer that? I saw you put your hand up.
Yes, yes, of course, ma'am. Yeah. So for this font art, we could do it, but do not keep it as mess. Whom you know about, whom do you know? If you know about Canva, you could sacrifice your fear and you could keep inside it. Other than Canva, you don't want to step up into any other thing for this thing.
Thank you, Gavel Shashank, for your input on that question. There is Nadishani Vaz has a question which says, is it okay to emboss and use outline colors for font? I think the answer is the same. That too cannot be done. See, I'm getting good at it. I myself am answering the questions without going through the panelists. But no, there are questions for you panelists. Stay here. Well, I lost it. Where did it go? Okay. Are there any other images other than TMI website? Are there any other images other than TMI websites which can be used? Who can take this? Toastmaster?
I can take it.
Julian, yes.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much for the question. What I want to say to that people, to the person who asked the question, yes, there are another website. For example, if you go into the Canva, I can show it to you. Let me show it to you. Here right now, I'm in Canva. Let me share. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. As you can see, Canva use those applications. We call these pixels. And this one is called...
Can we zoom on that, please?
Oh, yeah. Wait. Let me...
Yes, this is better.
Yes. This is Pixels and Pixabay. You have, you have those solutions. First of all, you go through the Canva application and click on the one application here. Here you will have a lot of images. Or second solution, you type in your web browser the website of that application, pixabay.com. Here you have over 1 million high quality stock images. Those are free. For example, if I search for meetings, Here you can have a lot of free images that you should use. But please do not go through Google or another website. Those images here are free for use, okay? Or you can go through the pixels.com also. Pixel.com is another great website on which you can find a lot of great images that you need for your photographies or for your visuals.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great information, Toastmaster Julian. Toastmaster Vaishali, I'm sure your question has been answered by Toastmaster Julian. Now, the next question is from, from a YouTube viewer, Alia Khan. All sorts of clip arts, figures, objects, both other categories are not allowed? Toastmaster Julian, can you answer this?
Not at all.
Not
Any
at all.
clip art, yeah, not at all.
There you go, Toastmaster Alia Khan. You cannot use any of those.
No.
Sonali has this question. Can we use members' photos? I think you covered this in your presentation, Toastmaster Julian.
Yes, you can.
Right. Thank you so much.
Yes, sorry for interrupting. It's Shashank here. Even apart from these members, as given for Toastmasters, the adult photos in the TI website, we could use our children's photos, as said before, for Gavel clubs.
Perfect. Thank you, Gavel Shashank. Toastmaster Vaishali has this question. Are there any other images? Okay, sorry, that has been taken. YouTube viewer, Mohammad Khaidar Mohammad Sari. His question is, can we use yellow for background? Toastmaster Tinush.
I think I have already answered that question. Yellow color can't be used in the background.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tinush. I came back to you because I did not want to be the one to answer that. Okay, moving on. Toastmaster Srinivas KM has this question. Tech for Toastmasters, how about using photos of children while creating Father's Days and Mother's Days theme event posters, or using Santa Claus or Christmas clip art for special event posters? I guess that also has been answered by Toastmaster Julian. No clip arts. He was very clear in his presentation. So no photos of, no clip art. Toastmaster Julian, can you highlight on this thing? If we could use photos of children while creating Father's Day and Mother's Day themes.
Yeah, you know, Toastmaster Priscilla, the fact is this, as we like to say, the rules are the rules. And at Toastmasters International, they made a brand manual, a complete brand manual. Please, we should or we must follow those principles. Do not use any images of children. But what we can do is, if there is a special day like a Father's Day, we can do a simple poster on which you will type Happy Father's Day, but without showing photos of children. So that's my answer.
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Julian. That answers that question. We have another question. What does it mean when yellow is an accent color? This has already been taken. Can the yellow be a background in the poster? No, Toastmaster Kaider. This has been answered. Okay, just give me a second. Okay. Nishi's question is, does it mean that if the club does not use the TI logo, then we don't have to take permission from TI for the video to be posted? Toastmaster Dharma. Or, yeah.
The posters and the video. Yes.
Do you want me to repeat the question?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. Does it mean that if the club does not use the TI logo, then we don't have to take permission from TI for the video to be posted?
Yes, you are right. So until you want to use the Toastmaster International Time Experience logos, there is no need of getting a permission. If you're going to use your Toastmaster tagline as well as logo, it has to be approved.
Okay. Great. Another question says, what if we have a theme about Africa, for example, and we want to use a video or image of Africa? What should we do?
So again, back to the content back. So if you want to create one district, maybe if it is in Africa, maybe D114 or 114P or somewhere, the district. If the district is creating their own theme, they can prepare their own designs and they can send to the brand. Once it is validated, then they can go for creating a trademark request. Once it is approved, they can use it for the particular tenure. Maybe for 3 months or 6 months, they have to mention everything and they can approve by the TI, then they can feel free to use. Until that, not at all, they directly no to the district-based theme because we are aligning everything towards TI. Global.
Thank you. Thank you.
Toastmaster Priscilla, yeah.
Yes.
Let me add something.
Sure.
If I understood the question very well, I think that he wants to know, for example, if you are going to make a visual for an African event, is he allowed to use clip art or some images from Africa? The answer is yes, but if you use images of people who look engaged or empowered, if you use those type of images, of course you can use them, but do not use animals from Africa or children from Africa. No, those type of images are not allowed.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Julian and Toastmaster Dharma. I think most of our questions are getting answered. Those who have posted questions later are all taken care of with these answers from you two. One question over here is, this goes to Toastmaster Dharma. It is a long process to create a club certificate. I will therefore shy away from preparing such certificates. I will use a generic Toastmasters certificate. What have you to say on this?
If they have buy the certificate from TI, they can feel free to use it. If whenever they are going for non-paper material, they are not supposed to use actually. Downloading the certificate from online, they can fill it and they can send it. It is not at all approved. If they buy the certificate to the hard copy, then they can write it and they can give in physical. It is obviously okay. But they are not supposed to create or they customize the certificate which is downloaded from the Google Images and they can use it. That is not allowed.
That is great information here. So all those creating certificates, please make a note of that. And thank you for that answer, Toastmaster Dharma. Well, Toastmaster Shashank, Gavel Shashank, as you can see, everyone is really happy to see you here. I am seeing it over here. Everybody is congratulating you. So that's lovely. Gavel Shashank is super awesome. He certainly stole today's show. This is coming from Toastmaster Nandan Dharani. Now, let me just see if there are any more questions. Well, I think the rest is all for Shashank. Shashank, you really stole the show. I can't find questions now.
All credits go to you all, ma'am.
No, you did an excellent show, excellent work here. There is a question from Noor Muhammad. I can see something where he says, Happy Yellow is Ascent color. Its purpose. Oh, he's telling us what Happy Ascent is for. So let me just read that to all of us here. Its purpose is to bring contrast to the base color, that is true maroon and loyal blue. One can use Ascent color as a background. It doesn't matter until you're using base colors 2 to bring out the contrast. So this is coming from DTM Noor Mohammed, another specialist on the brand manual. So we can take that for his word, for his word. Then we have Toastmaster Vaishali has a topic question saying, can I please get the link for certificates for best speaker, best table topic speaker, etc. I think Toastmaster Dharma, can you just point the link to for Vaishali? I think you can do that in our WhatsApp group. So that will help her to reach the certificates she's looking for.
Yes.
And I think we are now at 9 p.m. We should have finished our panel discussion at 8:30. Can we, DTM Cajetan, Division F Director, can we take a couple of few more questions?
I recommend, since we have already reached 9 o'clock, that any other questions we could, because most of our people must be from the TI brand group, any unanswered questions could always be clarified there.
Yeah, because another 62 messages, we could end up being here all night. So I think we had a wonderful panel discussion. We have many more questions in the pipeline, and I'm sure we could do another panel discussion to answer all those questions. So with this, I would like to thank all our panelists. I would like to thank all the audience for being such a wonderful audience, pouring out your questions and being attentive to our panel discussion. Thank you very much for being here. And of course, as DTM Cajetan's favorite quote is, change is constant. Here we are given a new change, a new brand manual. Of course, in the beginning, it is going to be a little difficult for us to adjust to this change, but we will do it. Because 4 months ago, we found it very difficult to come on Zoom and have a meeting. But today we are 38 here, but we know that we were around 50 people on at this Zoom meeting. So I'm sure we can and we will follow the new brand manual of Toastmasters as it is. Like Toastmaster Julian said, no, this is the manual. We have to respect it. Let's do it as it is presented to us. With this, I would like to hand over to our Division F Director, Toastmaster DTM Cajetan Barreto. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again for the wonderful presentations, all panelists. You did an amazing job. You overcame challenges, and the moderator who kept everything together. Thank you all the team, all the members who joined us here and on YouTube. Have a good night.
You too.
I am now allowing anybody to unmute themselves, and maybe if you all want to chat with people, feel free to do so. The meeting is officially over.
Bye, bye-bye. Thank you, DTM Cajetan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bindu and Toastmaster. How do you pronounce your name? Shashank. Okay, Sharkan. Thank you, Toastmaster Sharkan. Okay, see you in the